So, in this training, we're going to be looking at how to run ads after a Facebook account ban. Now, it's important you understand this topic itself, what it means, because what is not is the strategy for ad account recovery. I decided to skip the whole ad account recovery topic because, number one, you have a very low chance of getting back your ad account, and there are very well documented steps and strategies to attempt a recovery. What this topic is about is what happens if, in spite of your appeals, your numerous appeals to Facebook, you are still not able to recover from an ad account ban, which means you are now on a dead end. You have stopped running ads and you're trying to figure out what is the next step. Well, this training is for you, therefore. So let me begin by sharing with you some background. Number one, getting a Facebook ad account disabled or banned is becoming more and more of a common occurrence. So I just want you to understand that it's not because you look funny, you haven't spent enough money, Google or Facebook is just picking on you or whatever. It's a very, very common occurrence. And therefore, without a proven solution to overcome the account ban, your digital career is at risk of becoming limited. Limited because without the ability to leverage the Facebook paid traffic channel for acquisition, you're going to have your acquisition campaigns very, very limited. So therefore, in this session, I'm going to share with you my personal strategy that took me a great deal of research and testing to put together. Let me tell you this, my research and testing started last year. Yes, it is that long a period of time. I went through tons and tons of forums, of ill suggestions, both good and bad, testing, before I was able to formulate my own solution based on what I understand this is all about. And I'm going to share with you, of course, the central thinking behind the solution itself. The solution I've put together does require a special software to make the magic happen. So this is a disclosure here that you cannot move ahead or what you're thinking if you didn't have a special software. Now, the software is a Windows software, and let me clarify by saying that it is possible to not use the software, but you will need a clean laptop. You will need a clean laptop if you wanted to solve this problem, and you're limited to one ad account that you can run on that one clean laptop. What the software does is that it creates a virtual profile that allows you to literally run multiple ad accounts even on the same computer if you wanted to. And again, I'll share with you the concept behind this later on. But yes, you could choose to use a special laptop for the purpose of running ads for a specific ad account only. But again, if you think about that, unless you had many laptops in your home, it's a more expensive solution than using this special software. So again, this software unfortunately is Windows only, and therefore if you're like me on a Mac, the solution again, spend money, go and either get a Windows operating system, a Windows 10 OS, run on Bootcamp, or run on Parallels, which is a software that allows you to lay over a Windows software on Parallels, and now you have, well, a dual environment on your Mac itself. But if you're on Windows, then it's business as usual. Windows 10 will work. So the solution works for me. However, I make no warranties that it will work for you. It's just a disclaimer. So don't come back to me and say, well, I got my account banned after following your steps or whatever. I'm going to tell you right now, right? Do so at your own risk. Unless you got a better solution, then I think at least follow mine first. Now, in case you're wondering, to give you some background, why you cannot simply create a new profile and a new ad account. And before this, let me give you some background into the account structure, and I'll go to my iPad for that. So let's understand the relationship between the various Facebook properties. And it starts with your Facebook profile. So when we say create a Facebook account, we don't use the word ad. We just say a Facebook account. We mean profile.
You can't see your screen.
Hang on. You can't see my screen. You can't see my screen? Hang on.
Nothing.
Okay. No problem. Thanks a lot. Not the end of the world. Relax. Everybody deep breath. This is an NG tick. Now you can see?
Yes, okay. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know, yeah? So, when we say Facebook account, we mean creating a new profile. And of course, a new account requires an email. A new email, in fact, that is not associated with any previous Facebook accounts. And we're going to get into this later on in greater detail. But what I want to do right now is to show you the relationship right now that you need a profile associated with Business Manager. That you need a profile associated with Business Manager. And your Business Manager, from a hierarchical perspective, is where you now add an ad account. You create an ad account. And of course, one other important asset is the pixel. Now, So when we talk about disable can come in many forms. In fact, let's complete the picture in the hierarchy that your ad account hierarchy is your campaign, ad set, and ad. Now, so when we talk about disapproval, which is not disable or ban, then what we are referring to are areas where typically your ad gets disapproved because it's non-compliant. Typically, the trigger words that you use, the images that you use as well, or it could be the content of your landing page, one of these factors. Now, a disapproval is typically fixable. Obviously, you fix the words, the image, the landing page, and then you resubmit. Of course, your ad could also be disapproved because it appears to violate a policy. Either the fact that they think you're promoting something that's prohibited, or they think that you're promoting something that's restricted. And by the way, anything to do with make money online or business opportunity is very frequently associated with business with prohibited content, which is the multi-level marketing scheme. They like to lump everything under there as one rule or clause, and again, it's so normal. So again, we're not talking about disapproval of ads, because the fix is, again, fixing your copy, your landing pages, or choosing to just to promote something else. What we're referring to is at level 1, the disabling of the ad account. So if you get disabled at the ad account level, obviously you will no longer be able to run ads because the ad account is disabled. Now, don't mistaken the ad account with the business manager, because if your business manager is still active and it wasn't disabled, you could technically link your business manager to another ad account and run ads. You just cannot run ads on a disabled ad account. Now, the problem is that when it comes to disabling of ad accounts, and depending on the kind of ads you're running, an ad account ban is frequently also related to a business manager account ban. Now, if you get banned at the business manager level, then you will not be able to run any ad accounts in that business manager. And the bad news is that the business manager is also tied to your Facebook profile. And that is a damning problem, because they link the business manager to a specific profile. So once your business manager gets banned, you are not able to simply use your existing profile to create a new business manager. So let's treat it like a blacklist. Once they blacklist your business manager, there goes your profile. And of course, your profile is referring to your primary profile, like my primary profile in your primary profile itself. And it really appears to be like a death sentence. Because look at this way, right? All red crosses, and typically even your pixel goes, by the way. Say goodbye to your pixel if they choose to also disable your business manager. So it's the business manager ban that is the most severe, because it's also going to take down your profile. In other words, they specifically tell you you are no longer allowed to run ads on Facebook, full stop. Now, so you need to understand from this perspective what the rules are here. Well, the rules are that Facebook's official rules are one person, one profile. We call this by right. One person, one profile. Of course, you're wondering, how about by left then? Well, that's a different story, right? Which is why I'm saying, why is this a death sentence? Because it's pretty much one person, one profile. You have taken the time, the energy, and the expense to build real friends in your profile, to build a real network. But now this profile, your primary profile, can no longer be used to run ads. And therefore, without a solution, you are what we call snooked. In other words, you can't proceed to run ads anymore because your profile is no good or has been blacklisted. Now, this is a scenario that we are here to deal with in terms of finding a solution. So this is where the education starts, because you may be wondering, okay, my profile got banned. Why can't I just simply create a new profile? All is good, right? Well, not so fast, my friends, not so fast. It's important, therefore, you educate yourself in this new subject, which is, how does Facebook actually know about your user action? Like, why do I say you need a brand new computer, or you need to clean out your current computer, the registry, the cookies, and everything else? Why? Well, welcome to the world and concept known as browser fingerprinting. So Facebook can easily identify and track your web activities and tie it back to you. Remember, when you're logged in to your primary profile, every activity on Facebook properties, at least, along with external properties through the use of the pixel, are trackable activities. And of course, Facebook does track these things. And maybe you're wondering, but can't I just use a VPN to change my IP address? A lot of people think that way. Let me tell you and share with you about, well, the pitfalls of the VPN. You see, using a VPN merely changes your IP address and is therefore not foolproof. Now, of course, if you're wondering, but I'm changing my IP address to somewhere else, Facebook can't track me. Well, then you do not understand the meaning of what browser fingerprinting is all about. So let me just educate you right now. The components that contribute to your unique browser fingerprint include, but not limited to, your IP address. So your IP address is just one of many components that provides Facebook with a unique fingerprint of you and your user actions. Very similar to a thumbprint that is unique to you, isn't it? Which is why the thumbprint is being used. So all these components, not just your IP address, your browser and the version that you're using, whether it's a Chrome 5.9.0, Firefox 5.6.0.1, your computer parameters like screen resolution, pixel, depth, how you configure your system language, your time zone setup, your installed plugins and extensions, add-ons on your Chrome browser, the available fonts on your computer, your geolocation API, your canvas, browser fingerprinting, which is a subject all on its own. We're not going to talk about this, along with WebGLs, and of course with cookies. Cookies is the primary way, isn't it? The pixel tracks you, where your user login and your password get stored. So the cookie itself, along with your IP address, can uniquely identify you. But what I'm saying, there's a lot more than that, because most of us unknowingly configure our computer so uniquely that along with cookie information, it is so easy to highlight that you are the same user, even though you may have 2 profiles or 3 profiles. As long as you're accessing all 3 profiles on the same computer, they know who you are, because they are able to link your user actions based on your unique browser fingerprinting of the other 2 accounts back to your primary account. And that's what will get you banned, and banned again, regardless of how many new profiles you set up, because you're leaving a footprint, essentially. So that's the crux of all problem. When some of you attempt to create a new profile unknowingly, and you get into all kinds of problems, but that eventually leads to a ban, and you're wondering, why is Facebook banning my second profile and my second business manager? What does it have to do with what I'm doing? Not related. Well, it is related. If you're using the same computer, if you don't understand how to segment your environment, which we're going to talk about shortly. So how does it work? Step by step. Let me just show you. Please do not do anything until you go through the entire session. So please don't follow what I'm trying to tell you to do, because I'm going to explain to you in great detail each step on its own, and the things you need to look out for is very, very detailed. I need to warn you first. So please don't do anything right now. Don't go and create a new profile in anticipation of what I'm going to tell you to do. How it works: step 1, you're going to have to create a new Facebook profile for reasons explained to you earlier. Step number 2, download and configure that special software. Step number 3, create a new Facebook Manager account after running the special software on your computer. I'm going to give you 2 bonuses, subtopics. Number 1, for those of you who are unable for whatever reason to create a new Facebook profile, don't want to, whatever reason, there is still hope, a shimmer of hope, in that you could technically purchase a profile created by someone else and hand it over to you. And similarly, you could also purchase, believe it or not, a fully verified business manager ad account. Not cheap, but we're not talking about price, we're talking about possibility at this point in time. The second bonus is to obtain a virtual debit or credit card, because if you had your business manager account banned, the payment method is also no good. So please don't reuse your payment method that you use in your previous account before it got banned. Everything has to be brand new, and not adhering to what I'm telling you, you will put yourself in jeopardy unnecessarily, which is why, again, education is so important.